Hello. Well, a few weeks ago I did a video about the potato varieties we're growing this year and about how we try to secure an early harvest. Now, most years we succeed in getting our first small new potatoes by the end of April. Now, this year planting has been delayed a week or two because of the really cold weather. So the reason we can attempt to get such an early harvest is because of the situation here. So we're in the south of England. We've got a greenhouse here which faces more or less south, and it's fixed against a south-facing wall. So this environment here, even though it's unheated, does offer quite reasonable protection. And so long as we don't have the sort of freezing cold temperatures that we have had for the last couple of weeks, then the potatoes will get off to a head start if I row them up here in front of the wall. Now, we've done this for quite some years and they've always grown quite well using this method, and we've never had them frosted. Now, if we do get some really cold weather return, I will of course cover them with fleece, but at least for now the temperatures are forecast to be quite reasonable. So I'm going to be growing these potatoes in 15-litre pots. Now, this is the same size as a typical builder's bucket. And if you put a few holes in the bottom, you could, of course, use a bucket. I will grow potatoes later in the year in larger pots, but I think 15 litres is quite suitable for growing that early crop of first earlies. Especially where you're not looking for huge quantities or large tubers. So I've got 20 of these pots and I'm going to grow 10 each of Home Guard and Arran Pilot. Now, these have been chitting for a few weeks now. In fact, they could have gone in a week ago quite happily, but they've produced some very nice, robust chits, and this is exactly what you're looking for. Short, stocky, healthy looking sprouts on your potatoes. So I'm going to be sowing these potatoes into my usual sort of potting mix. Now, I did a video about the sowing and potting mixes I'm using this year, and I will leave a link to that in the description. And there you can see how I prepared this batch of compost. Now, this is essentially 1 part loam, 2 parts composted green waste, 1 part horse compost, and a sprinkling of fish blood and bone. So this is quite a nice rich mixture, and there's plenty of nutrient in this compost. Now, I haven't filled these pots completely. I will top them up later. Now, you could fill them completely. It's not a problem. The shoots will grow on through. It's not a problem. But I will probably top these up just with multi-purpose compost, because it doesn't really matter at that point. When the shoots get up that high, the roots are all spread out into this rich compost. I can just top up with the multi-purpose. I don't need to add more fish blood and bone or horse compost to the mixture. So planting these couldn't be easier. All I'm going to do is make a hole in the center of the compost here. And then I'm going to plant this tuber so that, well, it's an inch or two from the bottom, obviously with the shoots pointing up. So right in the center of the pot, and I only need 1 tuber in a pot this size. If you're using a large pot, say a 30-litre pot, you might want to put 2 or possibly even 3 tubers in, but for a pot this size, 1 is plenty. I'm also going to leave all of the shoots on. Later on in the year, when you work with main crop potatoes, you might decide that you want to rub off some of these shoots so that you get fewer but larger potatoes. I don't normally bother with that, to be honest, and I certainly don't want to do it for the first earlies. I'm quite happy to have as many shoots come up because I want a larger quantity of small potatoes. So the recent cold weather has delayed the planting of the tubers by a week or two, and it's now a little bit tight to secure the first harvest by the end of April. I will certainly be emptying a couple of these pots then, and we'll see what we've got. I'm still hopeful that we'll have some usable tubers by then, as we usually do manage that. Of course, most of these pots will be sat here for several weeks longer, and by the time we get to the last ones, they've had plenty of time to develop some good sized potatoes. So anyway, it's nice to finally be able to get these in the pots. So that's it for this video. I'm just going to carry on and finish planting these potatoes. So thanks very much for watching, and bye for now.